March Pro Qualifier, ladies and gentlemen. It is our first semi-final best of 5 between these wonderful people. Lin, 34 years of age at the moment, and 120. His birthday, by the way, December 21. I remember that now, thanks to the trivia quiz that I failed. 120. They go head to head, and this is going to be super exciting. I think it's Lin playing random here against 120's Undead, but not 100% sure. What we can say is that it's Orc versus Undead nonetheless.
Yeah, 120 is Undead. Are you not seeing his name displayed?
Nope, it's player 1 and player 2 for me.
Yeah, that's a new bug on NetEase, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I can give you the confirmation, though. 120, by the way, birthday, the 5th of July.
Oh.
2 days before the greatest day on Earth.
I was about to
Freedom!
say, so close to Independence Day. We have once again Qualfiier versus DK matchup. We've seen this a lot in the past 2 days.
Yeah, Qualfiier Headhunters, all the rage. Not necessarily exactly in this matchup, but this is certainly a good map for it. And that is because the DK can't creep up too easily. We saw by PCG how strong the DK level 3, along with Nova, can be against the Headhunters. In one game against Linguagua, he killed like 11 Headhunters or something. It was absolutely crazy. If you can keep the Headhunters alive and save them to the late game and get the Berserkers and creep up the TC, it can be a very strong strategy. But if you're under pressure, it's hard to pull that off, especially against the top Undeads. So we're going to see how Lin's going to do that.
We'll see indeed. Lightning Shield. Tier 2 tech on the way as well. More and more Headhunters. Yeah, he shouldn't lose as many as Linguagua did yesterday. That was quite brutal. 120. How try-hard is he going today? Is it really important to him? Oh, double level 2 right there. Rare to see. Pretty much the exact same time.
Yeah, the Headhunters were creeping in the south with the Wolves. Took no damage. Well done. Acolyte scouted this, by the way. Good Acolyte scouting. 120 knows what's up. 120 would love to be able to creep up to 3 now, get the coil, get a good amount of mana, and then hunt on tier 2 with Coil Nova those squishy Headhunters. And Lin probably going to try to prevent that as best he can. And this is what makes the map good here for Farseer Headhunters. This green camp, 120 can still creep pretty easily, but beyond that, it's going to be hard for him. And Lin actually nicely steals the last hit of the big creep and also gets the Wand of Illusion, so he's got a lot of consumables here now to use.
Ooh, not bad. Would have loved this to be a Crypt Lord with ghouls, obviously, finding the Wand of Lightning Shield, but not yet. Maybe if there's a lot of ghouls later, which is probably not the case. No, it goes only DK and Fiends. Can still put it to good use, or just sell it because there's a marketplace and there might be wonderful items in there.
Acolyte, Wolf Harass shouldn't lead too much. Unlike my horrible Acolyte defense in the 2v2. That was so bad, dude. Oh.
Well, it was a warm-up game. You just arrived like 3 minutes prior to the match. You weren't warmed up. That doesn't count.
Yeah, and we need to support the Americans, right? They suffer so much, but at least the 2v2 they could claim for themselves.
Well, one of them didn't suffer. The other did. A good 50-50.
How much was Ricky bragging yesterday?
Not much.
Didn't see most of the cast.
Was very, very surprised. Not much. Like, of course, in the intro talk, he did, but afterwards was pretty timid. I even poked fun at him a little bit, but he didn't counter.
Interesting. Yeah, yesterday, of course, they casted the Dust League, which continues today with Crazy Group D, dude. That's going to be amazing match.
Group C was amazing as well. Did you see Side versus Death Note?
No.
Oh my god, dude. 100 versus 100 supply fights.
Oh, Jesus.
It was wonderful.
I'm gonna get anxiety just looking at that fight, imagining how it is to micro that.
It was rough. It was rough.
So the DK did get pretty good experience. He's gonna reach level 3 here. Got the big mana potion, which is Mega Pog. And now begins the time where Lin has to worry. He knows the Lich is coming out. He knows the DK is going to be level 3, and now we have Coil Nova. So this is the time where Lin has to play a little afraid, and full map control goes to the Undead.
We do have a creep here. Big invul potion can be wonderful later. But yeah, map control it is, and he steals that camp away from Lin's side of the map. Ooh, pendant of energy as well. That's a lot of mana to use. In the meantime, Slaughterhouse, this looks to be a little late-ish. Okay, no, maybe it's just my feeling of time today. Red spot already.
Yeah, Lin going in with a cheeky play. Normally orcs don't have a TP, so this would be very risky, but with a Farseer you do. Is 1-0 really gonna read this play? Dude, the star sense by 1-0.
Oh.
The red camp goes to the orc, but it's gonna have to be a TP out here. There's no speed scroll.
Ouch.
He's actually gonna walk it off. Ooh, that could cost 3 headhunters. 2 down already. Fiend's kind of lined up for the stomp right there. Cloak of Flames is, of course, very nice on the TC, but he's hurt already. He's gonna lose 2 headhunters and the invul potion.
Oh my.
Warrow was ready, not used. The first little mistake by 1-0 loses 1 Fiend. But man, the camp is still engaged over here. Another headhunter goes down. And this is the reason why Farseer headhunters isn't exactly reliable against Undead.
Passes the TP, and is that another one? Oh my.
Oh
he gets
my
both!
god.
Super sick. Okay, we were questioning how tryhard is 1-0 gonna get. 100% mega tryhard, not clowning around anymore. Lightning shield on the wolf is a sweet move as well. But man, Lin's army is in shambles.
Yeah. This first game is looking rough. Oh, one Fiend, maybe.
Oh,
but
no.
he's baiting it last second with the coil. He knows exactly how far he can take it. In case of a crit, that one may have died, but what a sick game. What a read by 1-2-0, dude. He knows exactly how the game behaves at that point in the match. He knows Lin is smart about it as well. He knows Lin will be playing defensive, but perhaps might be taking a little risk at the red camp where nobody usually would scout, would go, would jack. But 1-2-0 does them. What a sick performance. The Undead here looking aces. Nova on the Farseer, and 1-0 is actually going to TP out. Doesn't want to fight into the Spirit Link, which is making the Orc a lot stronger right now. TP out, saves everything. He's going to get the Orb now. Destroyer form is queued. Lin got a little bit of something. He forced the TP, and he's going to get the middle camp. But that's not even level 3 TC.
He did force the Mana Stone as well to get the coil. That was risky, man. Lin casted a Lightning Shield on a Fiend while the Lich was super low during the Town Portal. After the Town Portal, of course, everything clumps up, so that could have killed the Lich in a certain position. Didn't happen, but cool movement. This game, oh my god, this game is very, very promising. We got 2 pendants of energy on 1-2-0 side after the big mana as well. This is pretty sick.
Yeah, Lin is certainly gonna have to pull a rabbit out of his rabbit out of his hat. That's how this. That's how that
Head
goes.
out of a rabbit would be nasty, dude.
Which hole is the question? TC now level 3. Talisman. All right. Oh, he needs a bit more. He needs a pendant of energy, but there's no more to be found for him. He could buy one, maybe. He's got the mana pot, though, or the mana stone, that is. He's got the Sobi. There is some good items for the Orc, but the Lich also keeps on creeping. Ring of Regen is, can be good, but certainly not the big drop here. There's still a lot of experience at bottom right. We have the red camp still left. We have the Arachnithids. We have a bit of the natural. So 1-2-0 is in the most valuable corner of the map. And Lin, in the north, nothing left to creep. The only thing he can do is attack the main, but 1-0 already was scouting for that with the skeleton. Are you serious?
This is really high level Warcraft. The timings of them are sick. Now we got the claws of attack for the Lich. Staffed by the DK who went forward to get a TP. And here we go. This is not much damage at all. It's 1 ghoul and a little bit of damage on the Slaughterhouse without pillage, so he didn't even get much gold from it. He's switching it up though, and Venom Spears tier 3. Wyvern are coming.
Alright, upgrades are in the works, but Lin needs to buy a lot more time until he's ready to fight. He needs at least 60 supply to be able to take an engagement. And usually, in this stage of the game, 1 base, you can only compete with a 3rd hero. Lin does not have a 3rd hero. And if he goes for one, that would of course be the Shadow, would be not too easy to creep it. 1-0 chasing after the Orc. The Undead still has full map control ever since that mid-game. Steals the last hit and the item. Gets in the claws for the Lich. Almost gets level 4 on the DK. Is he gonna go always into death pack like PCG yesterday? I don't think he has to.
Nah, I don't think so either. It's a nice backup. Oh, leaves the item on the ground. No, now takes it. It is Aura level 2 confirmed. A120 doesn't need death pack, Remo. Come on.
Yeah, this DK should be pretty safe. High leveled here, almost 900 HP. And Frost Armor, always to protect him. Get it while it's still hot. Level 1 Frost Armor will be nerfed a little bit in the future, but at the moment still very powerful as the Lich keeps creeping. He's gonna reach level 3 Lich here, and that is pretty much peak performance now for the Undead.
How can a Frost Armor be hot? Well, Frost burns are a thing, right?
That's what they call Frostburn, Neo, exactly.
Aha. Peon dies.
I think it's kind of funny that all the famous mountain climbers in the world have no toes. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. And not all of them, but many of them. Because of Frostburn, their toes basically died and had to be amputated.
Oh.
So they all can't run. If they walk weird, they sometimes fall over.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. Oh my god, Katka's Pipe. What are these items for 120?
Alright, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, this is absolutely nuts. Picks up. Okay, if you need one single moment of this game to see if 120 is taking it seriously, picks up the Tome of Agility with the Dark Ranger. This is 100% 120.
Yeah. 4 3/3 heroes. The only thing he's missing here is level 4 Lich for the Dark Ritual. And this does not look like a winnable fight for Lin, but it is the best orc of all time, so maybe he can pull off a miracle here. TC runs in, silence milliseconds before the stomp, but he does dispel it, and that's a big stomp. That one hit nicely, but there are plenty of destroyers in the air, which of course cannot be stunned. None of them have died yet. The Berserkers trying to do their best. Excellent destroyer control by 120. 120 and happy, especially in the destroyer control department, better than everyone else in the world. And the anti-air is quickly dying. Headhunter's going down. No more piercing damage left soon. And somehow all destroyers are still in the air.
Wow. This is reminding me of this WGTL series of 120 versus Focus on Last Refuge. Remember how crazy he microed these destroyers there, and yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. He's a great caretaker of them, and they just simply refuse to die in 120's hands. But DK low, Dark Ranger low, Lich also low. It's only destroyer statues and heroes at the moment, but we saw yesterday already with PCG how crazy strong this tri-hero combo is. Last second invul. As long as there are statues on the ground, that is of course for regen, and now the replenishment potions come in handy, as well as the Katka's Pipe, as well as the obsidian statues. This is so much regen, it's absurd.
Yeah, Lin did his best there with how desperate of a situation he was in. He took a decent fight. It was a small mistake by 120, walking into the stomp there as he did, but he could easily afford it. And where perhaps the Fiends died quickly, the Destroyers certainly did not. Destroyers actually have a place in the very late game against Orc. It's only when there's Raiders involved with Ensnare plus Headhunters where Destroyers quickly die and there's hardly any counterplay. But if there's no Raiders, Destroyers can be good, and Orc really cannot go Raiders in the late game because they are so weak in terms of fighting. Only good for the ensnare. So 120 knows exactly how he has to play in the mid game, late game, early game. Excellent game by him. And this is, I think, what I said yesterday. Fast tier headhunters can work, but against the top undeads, it's really hard to pull it off.
Yeah, it's a rather newish development to go so hard on destroyers, right? Like, when did we ever see 4 destroyers in the air if it's not an Edo game?
Yeah, and against that hero combo, you can do it with the Farseer, you know, against the Wolves, of course. And there's no Orb of Lightning involved there. If there's a Blade Master in the game, purging your destroyers, and then the bonus damage from the Headhunters also flies in, destroyers have a much tougher time. But no Blade Master, no Orb. These destroyers are very hard to kill.
Exactly. You said all the climbers have no toes. I have another one of this tidbit. I learned or somebody told me yesterday. I don't know if it's true, but it comes from a guy who watches a lot of animal documentaries. He said all eels are born in South America, and then they travel to wherever. It takes them 3 years.
Whoa, really?
To come to us. Isn't that crazy? they're all born in one place pretty much, and then they spread over the world.
That's cool. Could
But
be fake
unbelievable,
news,
right?
but it sounds cool.
I
Are there eels in South Korea? Imagine how far they would have to go
Well, maybe they can
to
go
get
the
South
other
Korea.
side.
Well, there's no
Yeah.
other way around. The Earth is flat. We all know that.
Oh my god, it would fit you so well if you're a flat earther, dude.
Dude, what is the argument for flat earthers, by the way? So if the Earth is flat and we're on a disk, how is it that you can go from Alaska to Japan so fast? Wouldn't you have to go the long way over Europe? There must be some kind of really wacky excuse for that, right? Any flat earthers in chat, boys?
Oh my god.
Our mod Zabi right now. Bro, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now?
We got a game, by the way. It's Total Rock. Lynn's still playing random. He was a little lucky getting his main race, but now 120 doesn't know what's coming for him. I'm not 100% sure how good Lynn's random is, after all. I know he has a pretty good human, but that's pretty much it. Oh, I used the wrong link.
Yeah, Lynn, of course, playing random here. He doesn't have to stick with random. New WGL rules stipulate that he can choose different races on different maps, but you have to pre-announce which race you're going to play on which map. He sticks with random here on TR and gets Night Elf. And starts with a pot up first. All right.
What the hell? What? Against Undead, really? Well,
I think Potom might be the worst hero in the game against Undead. All right.
Yeah. I mean,
He's gonna give it a try, Neo.
yeah. We'll see how that goes. Cross distance. So, is he going to tower push? Or, yeah, that's a Hunter's Hall. I was about to say, or does he want to level her and then go mass air? But until mass air is out, he's probably dead. So, it's tier 1. Maybe he thinks, oh my god, my Night Elf, I can't compete with 120 if he's really trying. So, let's just go for some cheese. But 120 goes to the store and knows exactly what cheese is coming for him.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do something weird. AP push could be one idea. Also, mass hunts into Expo again. 3 bases, mass like crazy. That's another window I could see if 120 isn't paying attention and is allowing that. But yeah, it's not gonna be easy. Potom, perhaps the simplest hero in the game, has an aura for damage, has another orb for damage, so totally no overlap there. And then has an owl, which can only scout and do nothing else. I talked with Starshaped, as Circumstance would have it, earlier today about the Potom. Starshape's a big Potom fan, but we both agree the Potom's pretty boring and could use a rework. And I had an idea, Neo. Listen to this. I had an idea.
Okay, after your Dreadlord
What if-
idea of yesterday, I'm super curious about this one.
Yeah. So I think the aura and the orb are sort of fine, but the owl is kind of stupid. It only scouts, and you can't kill it. You can do nothing about it. It flies overhead. You can do nothing. You can just stare at it. Stare right back at the owl, you know. So I think the owl, first of all, should be killable. Should have a certain HP. You should be able to kill it. And you should only be able to have one at a time. But should have the ability, as the only summon in the game, to be able to summon things itself. And the way it would work is, level 1 owl, you can summon 1 sentinel. Level 2 owl, you can summon 1 wisp. Level 3 owl, you can summon 1 huntress.
That sounds utter bullshit. Also, lie. There is a summon in the game that can summon other summons, and that is the Warden Ultimate.
Yeah. You see? It fits the Night Elf race.
I think it's bullshit, but you are the game designer, balance manager. Maybe I didn't think this through, and I'm too fast with my opinion. But chat is with me for now. On first sight, it looks pretty pretty bad. Also very complicated, not really intuitive. Not a fan.
Why is it complicated?
Because it's 3 completely different summons. And a summon has to summon a summon.
Yeah, but
It's
we already have that.
Summonception.
We have a precedent. It gives the owl something other to do than just to fly around and look. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And you guys are mean.
Lin is a little mean here as well to 1-2-0. As he's pushing into the base, cancels the Slaughterhouse. And Ghoul's not too great against Hunts, but the Lich absolutely is.
One Ghoul going down. But yeah, that's a problem with the Potom. You don't have an Entangle, you don't have a Mana Burn. You just have a bit of bonus damage, against which Undead can always micro really easily. The game is always very comfortable for the Undead if they don't have to worry about any crowd control. If there's no Purge, if there's no Entangle, if there's no Stormbolt, the game for Undead usually becomes very simple, pretty easy to execute. You can always work with your superior move speed with the Aura. So having no catch is tough to pull off. That is the big problem of the Potom. But at least he got the expansion. Walking over to the natural. Doesn't have Nature's Blessing though.
Yeah, the Undead expansion certainly faster than the Night Elf one. Positioned it very defensively in his own base, is now taking to tier 2, so 1-0 is ahead in every single regard of the game. Experience, expo, tech, and everything else.
Looking good, looking good. Game is probably gonna last a while longer, but if I was a betting man, I would put all my chips on blue.
How many chips you got?
Lots of chips, Neil.
Good, that's
I
good.
bought them back from Wiesbaden, where there's lots of gambling going on.
Oh, there is, right?
Yeah.
True. Yeah, 1-0 is having a good time here. Preventing the Potom from leveling. Oh, Panda second. Tree already getting down to 50%. Gargs are having a nice time with that as well.
Nice thing on Turtle Rock, by the way, is there's no sappers, so you can kill 15 Sigurats with sappers. So it's going to be very hard to take out the towers.
It's rather easy to take out that Panda, but DK only level 1, so lets him go. Can he steal the turtle? Oh, that's so brutal, dude. The wisps are getting slaughtered. The tree is taking more and more damage. DK is level 3. Disaster. GG!
GG!
Oh, boy,
What a good
oh,
game
boy.
it was.
Good game indeed. We got a pretty quick semifinal here. Yesterday, the first semifinal was super competitive, went full distance. But Lin probably has better things to do today.
Yeah, Lin got plenty of points already. Qualifying points here. Third and fourth get 6 points. And it's pretty likely that he's going to end up here. 8 points for second, 10 qualifying points for first place.
All right. Game will start, or the third game is already started. So in 2 minutes we join, and of course Lin sticks with, or should be sticking with random. Would be kind of weird to play 4 maps with random and then 2 orc or something. Maybe he didn't feel Night Elf. It kind of felt like he doesn't feel Night Elf.
Or he's going to pull a Mango right now. He's down and out. All the fans are booing. And now his anime spirit is being ignited. He's like, oh, I'm going to show you. That's pretty unlikely.
It is kind of unlikely. But that means 1-0 in a final against Moon or Focus. That is super promising for the rest of the day, because Moon and Focus will not, they will not clown around.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them troll in games.
Yeah,
1-0 did, by the way, once upon a time, a few years ago, beat Focus in a grand final best of 7 qualifier in Orgmira. With 4-1.
Yes.
And in a series that should have actually been 4-0. I still remember that last Refuge game. Dude, 120 is just, he's a mad lad. He's a mad lad. But according to Death Note, he's actually not good. He's just winning because he's undead. And you can clearly see that because he only practices 2 hours a day. So he's actually an average player. He just gets the success from playing undead.
Yeah, how close were you from kicking Death Note from the call? There was a certain point where I think, oh, that's the kick button soon. Especially when he said, well, if Mountain King is level 1 or Mountain King level 5, it makes no difference. That was weird.
Yeah, he had a couple of weird takes, Mr. Death Note, but it was a discussion round. We didn't have to agree on everything. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is time for our third game. If this scenario happened in EU, people would scream match fix, ban him. When Asians throw games, haha, funny trolls, bro. This is kind of WGL qualifier theme, though. It's always happening, so everybody knows.
Yeah, I mean, this is a qualifier where all these players are definitely gonna qualify. You know, like, how much prize money do we have here?
$1,500.
It's not bad. Not bad, decent amount, but it's mainly a qualifier. And all these guys are going to qualify. Plus, everyone knows this happens, so it doesn't seem like match fixing would really work that well, but,
Yeah, nah. Okay, we got Human now. Human versus Undead, one of our most beloved matchups, isn't it? And Lin's Human is pretty good, but against Undead, it's rough. And do we see a different opening from 1-0? Probably not. DK Fiends works in almost all the matchups. So yeah.
Yeah, and we see the DK. Of course, playing against random, you have to open with a Ted Fiend build, unless you want to take a big risk. But if you want to play it safe, you want to open Ted Fiends. And in this scenario, DK standard against Human, that's actually very balanced. We all know Crypt Lord, a little too strong, isn't he? A little bit too strong. But will, of course, be getting nerfed soon. But this matchup here is very balanced, but not easy to pull off if you don't have a lot of experience with it as Human. You need to know how to creep, when to expand, how to expand, what to pay attention to. Like, from minute 3 until minute 15, there's so many things you can die to, and you gotta remember all of them and pay attention to all of them.
Okay, we pay attention to this creep right here. This level 2, clause of attack for the Archmage of Lin. Yeah, he can't really make a mistake, otherwise he's dead. That's pretty true. Level 2, or tier 2, tech on the way. Oh, Acolyte kill maybe, but a little bit too late for the steal. And 1-0. He's in a wonderful position to harass this creep. But where's the militia? There, now they're coming. Puts a little more damage on the DK prior to being harassed, so that's kind of fine. But yeah, the creep is happening.
A lot of militia.
That is a lot of it. It is a big camp, it is a dangerous camp, and it is a dangerous 1-2-0, so the more the merrier.
Yeah, Lin is like the sergeant in Edge of Tomorrow. He's sending in the soldiers. He knows, many of you will die, but it's going to be for the glory of the motherland. Let's see how many are going to go down here. This is actually only the first one so far, and the DK is still not level 2.
Gets the water elemental. Oh, no, didn't. The creeps got it. How many? Oh, there's no rod. Saves the mana for the Overseer, 157. Lin playing around it and gets it! Sweet, level 3 and the item as well. This is not too expensive, but he got something big there. I'm not too sure what it was. 2 peasants at the same time? Yeah.
Yeah. Got one with the Skelly, one with the DK. Can also get the Footy right here. Would love to not have to use the coil. Doesn't get the last hit. Kills off the Footman though.
The creep's really good at last hitting today. And this is gonna be a long tier 1 phase for Lin. Fiends are coming. It's gonna be more pressure. Lich will be started in a couple of seconds. Yo, well done by Lin though.
Yep, absolutely. considering how disastrous this camp can go. It was actually not too painful. 1-0 decided to creep the middle green. You can also, on this map, go for the camp that we're seeing right now at the start and still be in time to harass. So I don't know if it was the best opening, creep route-wise. But DK is getting decent experience now. Would love to get that level 3 quickly, of course. Lich is being delayed in favor of a faster slaughter. But we do see it now. And Lin might be getting aggressive. But it's always a risk to send in the footies if you attack into the unit base. Many more might die, as we already saw at the expo. So instead, Lin is going to go for the enemy lab. That's pretty cool. It goes for the shredder, which means all of his lumber concerns are soon going to be alleviated. But that shredder also costs 100 lumber at the moment of purchase. So slows down that tech just that little bit more.
And he has to walk all the way back. But yeah, good experience, good steal. Skeletons are still scouting in the... Wow, he did tech already. Despite the shredder and the expansion and 3 losses.
DK's gonna find the human here. Lin would love to go for a Zep, but it's still nighttime. No Zeppelin yet. Only gonna be purchasable on daytime. Kind of like real life. I think you can only purchase Zeppelins there also during daytime. Would be kind of weird if you go to the Zeppelin store in the middle of the night and you're like, 1 extra large Zeppelin, please. I want to fit my tanks in there. He's gonna point at his watch and gonna ask you, bro.
Dude, you'd need a
open in only
lot.
5 hours.
You'd need a lot of gas, right, to drop tanks with the Zeppelin. Or whatever they put it. It's not helium anymore, right? That was a little ill-advised.
Yeah, that might not be the best. May not have been the best idea back then.
Lich is coming. Needs a coil on that fiend, though. There's no burrow yet, so has to spend that one. It's getting cold.
Lin forgot about defend.
Yep.
That hurts a lot.
Might have been on purpose to tech faster, because that was really fast. Now he goes for it. Okay, maybe he noticed in that fight. Well... Archmage, I hope you got your code with you. It's getting cold with the Nova. He's out of that fight. Fiend can still be hurt, or be healed, but 2 of them are hurt. And this is like, yes, the last moment of this fight. Oh no, with the arrival of the statue, you can stay in there longer. And what's the Archmage supposed to do now? Ring of Regen is coming in handy, but he's so far away.
Yeah, that was a big mistake by Lin. Ouchie. Good early game by him before. He was in a decent position, but he lost like 6-7 footmen right there. Not going for defend is a choice you can go for if you want, but then you have to delay and poke with the AM, run away with footies, hide behind towers, hide behind the shop, wait for defend to finish, and then engage. Defend is finished now, which is nice, but problem is we don't have many footies in.
Yeah, we don't have much of anything, really. Tower will be gone in a second! That's the Archmage at 7 HP, forced into a TP. The shop is at the expo. Archmage is focused. He is so dead. That's game. That's the series as well. And oh boy, was that a slaughter? Was that one-sided? And not even that entertaining, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that is the risk of, you know, qualifier matches, especially between good friends, which these two are. But our next 2 contestants should take this a lot more seriously. Moon and Focus always want to show their best for the fans, and that best of 5 is going to be quite exciting.
Oh yeah, can't wait for that. A rematch of the DreamHack Anaheim Grand Final. Looking forward to it for sure. And where is that? Huh? Speaking of showing the best way to support this channel, in case you have some change, is of course our newly summoned Patreon that we put together. Remo, Ricky, Carson, and I. A 4-man Patreon, 6 tiers. You can support us from €2 a month to the crazy 500 golden goat. There's a couple of cool perks. We got exclusive private Discord channels where, of course, we will answer questions and talk with you guys. We have a Back to Warcraft podcast now that I do with Ricky. For that, we have weekly Q&As as well. You get the podcast a week early. The second episode that is up for Patreon pledgers is up already, and that is the Todd and Ent drama, quote-unquote, from last week. We get monthly music and movie recommendations. My first EP is there already, and Remo has a good movie recommendation for you there as well, prioritizing Q&A questions and Theorycraft user replays. Speaking of replays, you can get your replays analyzed by Remo and Carson. You can get invited to monthly custom game evenings with us. And of course, the Patreon shoutouts for the Prophet and Midas Patreons. They get coaching. 45 minutes by Remo and Carson and the Back to Warcraft chat VIP. And of course, the Golden Goat. We go into a little bit of a break. Feel free to use the time. Look at the Patreon. See if that's for you. We have 2 new subs here, by the way. The Nemmer with the 413 sub. Came for the game. Stayed for the haircut. Thank you. And Donolato with the Prime sub as well. Much love, you guys. A short break and then Moon. Burst Focus.